Hello. So I have these, what I think are funny thoughts from time to time. Based on Monday's video, I'm not sure many other people thought it was too funny, but I woke up with this thought and had this idea and came on and took the camera on, turned the camera on, and I used just something that I thought about to make a teaching point, and I'm going to do that today. I'm going to get to a teaching point, but something really strange entered my mind last night, and I wanted to use that as a prelude to this. I hope I don't lose you in the first couple of minutes with this. I hope you'll stick with this story because it does talk about our self perception, maybe even our perspective on ourselves. I come in and do these things first thing in the morning, you know, and my hair is still wet from shampooing it and everything else. My beard is still tight, and all is contained. And you guys don't know what happens by 6 o'clock in the evening, 12 hours later. But this thing goes poof, and the beard is just a little bit more. And I've been on meetings and people have used the term Grizzly Adams things, and I hide it pretty well, but the hair curls up in the back and stuff, and it's pretty funny. And I was having dinner last night, and one of my youngest son came for dinner. Eric sat at the table with us, and then Sean stopped by on his way home from work, my oldest son. And we're all commenting on our beards and our hair growth and everything during this time when we can't get out safely, in our minds anyway, to groom the way we would normally groom. So, I start off the day looking pretty much intact, but by the end of the day, hair's dried out, getting a little more brittle, puffing out and curling up more. And I'm getting that hippie look to me or whatever. And so, people have made the Grizzly Adams comment. I don't see that. Even at my worst, I don't see Grizzly Adams. But I'm in, getting ready for bed last night, and I realized it's not Grizzly Adams that I looked like. You have to understand. At my tallest, I was 5'6", and I've shrunk a bit. I know I was 5'5" even, and I think I've shrunk even more. So I'm not even checking my height anymore. When they do it at the doctor's office, don't tell me. I don't want to know. So I'm not the tallest guy in the room. I've never been in a room in my adult life where I'm the tallest guy in the room, unless I'm the only guy in the room. So it's not Grizzly Adams. I look like a garden gnome. Just need a little hat. I'm good to go as a garden gnome. Now, if any of you had the thought of trolls, okay, you're just not nice people. And you need to stop watching this video now. You need to go seek either psychiatric help or spiritual forgiveness or something. But if you went from garden gnome to troll, just drop that now. But I thought to myself, garden gnome, I can't go out on the front lawn at night. Somebody will steal me. They'll use me, in one of those homecoming rivalries. We got the gnome. I'll be doing selfies with people on roller coasters. They'll be going, wee! I'll be going, ah! And so, I could let the beard grow longer and the hair grow longer, and maybe, I'll get to be one of those sources of wisdom I think of, those movies, like in Harry Potter, you had the old wizardy guy, Dumbledore, who had the long beard and the hair, and Gandalf, of course, from the other movies there. And, that's going to be a long time. I could let it go even longer, and I could be entertaining and mysterious like ZZ Top. All of that's possible. And all of those have different perceptions that go with them. I'm not sure Garden Gnome has a really great self-perception with it. So it was very funny. I went to my wife last night, and I said, I don't look like Grizzly Adams. I look with a Garden Gnome. A little hat, I could be in a Travelocity commercial. You may not think that's funny, but we had a great laugh over it last night. But we're just thinking self-perception. When we see ourselves, when I watch these videos back and I see myself, what am I perceiving myself to be? How am I judging myself on that? I wear these Hawaiian shirts. Most of you know it's to hide medical stuff. And some people have medical stuff they can hide. What does that do to your self-perception? And you got to work really, really hard to separate who you are from some of the physical things that we have to go through, like COVID, hair, and beard. Medical issues, that doesn't say anything about who we truly are. It may be people's first impression, but we have an opportunity the moment we reach out to change that perception. But it has to start with our self-perception. It has to start with valuing who we are, not what we appear. You know, we can take who we are and lead with it. So it becomes our appearance, and not the hair, not the beard, not the Hawaiian shirt, not whatever medical condition you may have, or anything else, or anything else that shows that you're not completely satisfied with. It's who we are, who we become, and even more important, who are we becoming? Who are we growing into? That self-perception is so strong. Yesterday I talked about goals, and I talked about they don't just have to be achievement goals, they can be being goals, and they can be growth goals. And I'll tell you, I spent time yesterday on my goals. And a lot of my goals are being goals. More, some growth goals definitely. In fact, I woke up at one point in the middle of the night, realized I forgot one very important growth goal, something I'm already working on, but I want to commit it to paper. And I had left that off my list. But most of my goals, there's only one achievement goal. Now I have work goals and I have personal goals. These are my personal goals that I'm talking about. But I have only one personal goal that's an achievement goal. And everything else is who I'm growing into being. And so they're all growth and being goals. And that's where I pull my self-perception from. So I can laugh about the hair and the beard. And, we're all a little self-conscious, but I don't dwell on that. I dwell on who I'm becoming. Achievement, you have to have some level of achievement goals. Certainly in work, in business, achievement goals are very important. But you also have to have some personal goals. And those may or may not be as achievement oriented. It's hard sometimes because sometimes you have a job, sometimes you have a side hustle, something else that you're working on, and you have to draw the line between what's vocational, what's a hobby or side hustle, and what's personal, and make sure you have goals in each of those buckets. But those personal ones, that's what's going to drive your self-perception. Don't let it be hair and beard or medical or physical issues with you. Don't let the visual, because it's who you are inside and who you are to other people that really matters. Those other things may cause a roadblock. And when I talk medical, wearing a Hawaiian shirt is so insignificant in the role of things that people have to deal with. I get that. But it's one thing I had to do. And when you have to go into a formal occasion and you can't tuck in a shirt, that you sit there and you try to figure out what people are thinking about that. I just went to some family special occasions as well as some funerals. I literally took a shirt off the rack and had somebody tailor the bottom of it so I could wear it untucked, but it didn't give that big half circle thing at the bottom and everything. And so it looked a little more formal, and I had it with a tie and a jacket and everything. You probably saw some of the videos where I had a shirt and tie or a jacket and tie. You're thinking, boy, that guy wears Hawaiian shirts. How's he tucking a shirt in if you know the story? And it was a specially made shirt. It cost me more to have the shirt tailored than it did to actually buy the shirt. But again, that's just a way. Who was I at those events? Are people going to remember the shirt? Or are they going to remember the way I approached them or didn't approach them? Or are they going to wait, because I'm an introvert, so sometimes that's a little bit of an issue. But are they going to remember the way I spoke to them? Are they going to remember the eulogy I gave? Are they going to remember the way I shook their hand or looked in their eye or just responded to them? Most people probably didn't even notice the darn shirt. It was in my head. They're not theirs. But you get the point. The point really is, I hope this isn't your perception of me, that I now have longer hair and a beard than I used to have. But I hope you look into the words I say. And so I spend my time on what I'm going to teach and not what I'm going to look like. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, I got to make fun of it this morning. You probably won't hear me talk about it again for a while, but you'll hear me talk about these teaching points again. And I'll probably do another one on self-perception a month or so down the road. So hopefully I started out a little bit silly, but I made a good point in the end. Hopefully you got it. Hopefully you're going to have a really, really great day. And today I'm going to find the finish button because it's right here and I'm not going to have to go searching for it. Have a great day.